Commander Park Min-ho wiped sweat from his forehead as he stared at the radar screen. Something was wrong. Very wrong. The dots on his screen were getting bigger, which meant they were getting closer to Earth's newest home in space. "Sir, we have ships coming out of nowhere," said Officer Lee So-young. Her voice was shaking. She had been working on spaceships for 10 years, but she had never seen anything like this. Park looked through the big window of his ship. In the dark space around the planet called Kepler-442b, strange ships were appearing like magic. They were not human ships. They were long and sharp, like giant knives floating in space. The metal was black and looked very dangerous. On Kepler-442b, Dr. Yoon Ji-hai was working in the food gardens. She grew vegetables and fruits for the 2 million people who lived on this new world. It was a good life. The planet had clean air and water. Children played in the streets. Families were happy. But now she looked up at the sky and saw dark shapes moving between the stars. "What are those things?" asked her friend, Mr. Kim, who worked next to her in the gardens. Back on the spaceship, Park's communication system made a loud noise. A message was coming from the strange ships. The computer worked hard to change the alien words into human words. A big creature appeared on the screen. It looked like a giant lizard walking on 2 legs. Its skin was like hard plastic, and its eyes were yellow and cold. When it spoke, its voice was deep and scary. "Small humans of the 3rd planet," the creature said, "you will do what we tell you, or we will kill everyone. You have 1 day to say yes." Park felt his heart beating fast. He had trained for many things, but not for this. No human had ever met aliens before. He tried to stay calm and pressed the button to answer. "This is Commander Park Min-ho of the human fleet. We want to be friends. We can trade things with you. We can learn from each other." The alien made a sound that might have been laughing, but it was not a happy sound. "You are weak," it said. "We take what we want. We do not ask." The screen went black. Captain Kim Dong-woo was in charge of protecting the colony. He called all the other captains right away. "Get everyone ready," he said. "I think we are in big trouble." 1 day passed. Dr. Yoon was still in the gardens when the sky started to change. At first, it looked like the sun was getting brighter. But the light was not yellow like the sun. It was white and blue, and very bright. Then she heard the sound. It was like thunder, but it never stopped. The ground started to shake. In the distance, she could see the big city, where her husband worked. The tall buildings were there 1 second, and then they were gone. Just gone. The white light came from the sky like a giant flashlight, but this light burned everything it touched. The aliens were shooting energy beams at the planet. Each beam was as hot as a star. Dr. Yoon ran toward her house, but the light was moving fast across the land. She saw her neighbors running and screaming. Some people were trying to get into cars, but the cars would not work. The alien weapons were stopping all the machines. The attack went on for 6 hours. When it stopped, the beautiful colony was gone. The cities were flat and burned. The forests were black ash. The lakes were boiling hot. Dr. Yoon was one of the few people who lived. She was far from the cities when the attack happened. But her husband was dead. Her friends were dead. 2 million people were dead. Up in space, Commander Park watched it all happen. His ship was too small to fight the alien ships. He could only watch and take pictures, so other humans would know what happened. When the alien ships left, they sent one more message. "This is what happens to those who do not obey. Other human worlds will face the same if you do not surrender. We are the Zephyrian hegemony. We rule this part of space now." Back on Earth, Admiral Choi Sang-min got the terrible news. He was an old man who had spent his whole life keeping peace between human nations. But now he had to think about war with aliens. He called a meeting with all the leaders of Earth and the other human worlds. "They killed our people to scare us," he said. "They think we will give up." General Han Ruin stood up. He was the best military leader humanity had. They made a big mistake, Han said. They think we are weak because we tried to talk instead of fight. But they just gave us something we never had before. What is that? Asked the Admiral. A reason for every human to work together. They wanted to scare us. Instead, they made us angry. Very angry. Dr. Nem Hyensu, who was very smart with science and machines, was also in the meeting. I want to study the pieces of their ships, he said. I think we can learn how their weapons work. Maybe we can make better ones. As the leaders talked, people all over human space were hearing about what happened to Kepler-4 They were sad, but they were also angry. Mothers and fathers looked at their children and knew they had to fight. The aliens thought they were fighting weak, scared humans. But they had just woken up something much more dangerous. They had made humanity ready for war. 6 months after the aliens destroyed New Sol Colony, everything changed for humans everywhere. General Han Ruin walked through the biggest factory on Mars. Before the attack, this place made cars and computers. Now it made weapons and war. Ships. How many ships can we make each week? Han asked the factory boss. Mr. Park, Sage In, we can make 3 big fighting ships every week now, Park said with pride. And we work day and night. People want to help fight the aliens. Han nodded. This was happening on every human world. People were working harder than ever before. They all remembered the pictures from New Sol. They all remembered the 2 million dead people. Dr. Nam Hyensu was in his new lab, looking at pieces of alien ships. His team had found these pieces floating in space after the first battle. The alien metal was very strong, but Dr. Nam was learning its secrets. Look at this, he said to his helper, Dr. Kim Soyoung. He pointed to a strange blue crystal inside an alien weapon. This is how they make their energy beams so powerful. Can we copy it? She asked. We can do better than copy it. Nem smiled. We can make it work better than the aliens did. The aliens built their weapons to work in only one way. They never thought about making them different for different fights. But humans were good at changing things and making them work in new ways. In space, young Captain Song Mina was teaching new pilots how to fight. Her ship was small and fast, not big and slow like alien ships. The aliens fight like robots, she told her students. They always do the same thing. Big ships in straight lines, shooting at everything in front of them. What do we do different? Asked one young pilot. We move fast. We attack from the side. We hit them and run away before they can shoot back. We are like small fish fighting big sharks. Song had studied the videos from New Sol many times. She saw how the alien ships moved. They were powerful, but they were not smart about fighting. On Earth's moon, workers were building the biggest ship humans had ever made. It was called the Revenge, and it would carry 500 smaller fighting ships inside it. Worker Lee was putting armor on the ships outside. His brother had died on New Sol, and now Lee worked 16 hours every day to build this ship. This will make the aliens pay for what they did, he said to his friend while they worked. But the biggest change was in how humans thought before the alien attack. Each human world took care of only itself. Earth had its own army. Mars had its own ships. The moon colonies had their own guards. Now they all worked together, like one big family. Admiral Im Taeyong was chosen to lead all human military forces. He had never commanded so many ships and people before, but everyone trusted him. We are not just fighting for our own worlds anymore, he said in a message that went to every human in space. We are fighting for all humans. Everywhere. Dr. Yoon Ji-hai, who had lived through the attack on New Sol, was now helping to plan the war. She knew the aliens better than anyone because she had seen what they could do. They think we are like animals, she said to the war planners. They think we will run away if they scare us enough. But they do not understand humans. What do they not understand? Asked General Han. When you hurt someone we love, we do not get scared. We get angry. And when humans get angry together, we can do amazing things. The alien ships were coming back. Human spies had seen them getting ready in deep space. The aliens thought the next attack would be easy, just like the first one. Commander Parkman, who had watched New Soul die, was now captain of a new fighting ship called Justice. His ship was faster and stronger than any ship humans had ever built before. "Sir, we are getting reports from our scouts," said his communication officer. "The alien fleet is very big. Maybe 100 ships." Park was not scared. 6 months ago, 100 alien ships would have been impossible to fight. But now humans had 300 ships, and pilots who knew how to use them. "Let them come," Park said. "We are ready." In the weapons labs, Dr. Nam and his team had finished their work. The new human energy beams were not just copies of alien weapons. They were better. They could shoot farther and hit harder. "The aliens gave us the tools to beat them," Nam said. "They just do not know it yet." Young pilot Kim Yuri was getting her small fighting ship ready for battle. She was only 22 years old, but she had trained every day since New Soul was destroyed. "Are you scared?" asked her friend. "Yes," Kim said, "but I am more angry than scared. My grandmother lived on New Soul. The aliens killed her for no reason." All across human space, millions of people were feeling the same way. The aliens had wanted to make humans afraid. Instead, they had made humans united and angry and ready to fight. The next battle would be very different from the first one. The alien ships came out of dark space like giant metal monsters. 100 big warships, each one as long as a city block. They moved in perfect straight lines toward the human colony near Proxima Centauri. General Vexstar stood on his command ship and smiled with his sharp teeth. These humans would die just like the ones on New Soul. It would be quick and easy. "Humans have only 30 ships," said his officer. "We will crush them in minutes." But Captain Chen Wujin was ready for them. His ship Retribution was much smaller than the alien ships, but it was fast and smart. He had spent months learning how to fight these monsters. "All ships, listen to me," Chen said into his radio. "Remember what we practiced. Move like water, not like stone." When the battle started, something happened that General Vexstar had never seen before. The human ships did not line up to fight like good soldiers. Instead, they scattered in all directions, like birds flying away from a cat. But they were not running away. Small human ships dove between the giant alien vessels. They shot at the aliens from underneath, from the sides, from behind. The alien ships were so big they could not turn fast enough to shoot back. "What are they doing?" Vexstar roared at his officers. "This is not how space battles work, Lieutenant." Commander Song Mina flew her small fighter ship between 2 alien destroyers. Her ship was so tiny compared to them, like a bee flying around elephants. "Target their weapon systems," she told her squadron. "Do not try to destroy the whole ship. Just break their guns." The alien ships had very powerful weapons, but all their guns pointed forward. They expected enemies to fight them face to face, like a fair contest. But the humans attacked from every direction at once. Captain Kong, the Jin's destroyer, came up from below an alien cruiser and shot holes in its engine. The big alien ship started spinning in space, unable to control where it went. "Enemy ship disabled," she reported to Captain Chen, moving to next target. But the most important moment came when Commander Oh Sung-ho led his special soldiers onto an alien command ship. While the big battle was happening outside, his small team used a secret entrance to get inside the enemy ship. The aliens were not expecting anyone to board their ship. They were all busy trying to fight the human ships outside. Oh, and his soldiers moved quickly through the alien hallways. "There," pointed Sergeant Kim Min-soo, "that is their command room." The alien officers were shouting orders and looking at screens showing the battle. They did not see the humans coming until it was too late. "Surrender now," O said in the alien language that humans had learned, "Or we will take your ship by force." The alien captain was so surprised he could not speak. No one had ever captured a Zephyrian command ship before, but while O was taking control of the alien ship, something else important was happening in the main battle. Captain Chen had ordered all human ships to broadcast a special message. Kim Sung-ho, age 34, teacher, Kim, a voice over the radio. Park Mi-young, age 7, student. Lee Jae-won, age 45, doctor. They were reading the names of everyone who died on New Seoul, all 2 million names. The voices were family members, friends, people who knew the dead. The alien soldiers had never heard anything like this. They were used to fighting enemies who wanted to win territory or steal resources. But these humans were fighting for their dead friends and family. Jung Hae-won, age 19, artist. Choi In-soo, age 52, farmer. The names kept coming. Each name was a promise that the humans would never forget. Each name was a reason to keep fighting. General Vexstar felt something he had never felt before: fear. His big, powerful ships were being destroyed by tiny human fighters. His command ship had been captured, and worst of all, these humans fought like they had nothing left to lose. Retreat, he finally ordered. All ships retreat now, but it was too late for many of his ships. The humans had learned exactly how to hurt the alien vessels. 23 alien ships were destroyed or disabled. Only a few human ships were damaged as the alien fleet ran away. Commander O was looking at the computers inside the captured command ship. What he found made his eyes go wide. "Captain Chen," he called on the radio. "You need to see this. Intelligence." Officer Shin Dae-young worked all night to understand the alien computer files. When morning came, she had incredible news. "Sir," she told Admiral Lim, "we have maps of their entire empire. We know where they build their ships. We know where their leaders live. We know everything." The aliens had kept all their secrets on the command ship, thinking no enemy could ever capture it. Now, humans knew exactly where to hit them to hurt them the most. Dr. Nam looked at the alien technology from the captured ship. "Their computers are more advanced than ours," he said, "but they do not protect them very well. It is like they never thought anyone would try to steal their information." General Han studied the star maps that showed all the alien worlds. "They wanted to show us their power," he said. "Instead, they showed us their weakness." The war was changing. Now, humans knew how to win. Now humans knew where all the alien bases were hidden. Commander Baek In-ho looked at the star map on his ship's screen. Red dots showed alien weapon factories, communication towers, and supply stations across 12 different star systems. "Target the communication center first," he told his team. "If they cannot talk to each other, they cannot fight together." His small strike force moved quietly through space toward the Altair system. The aliens had built a huge communication tower there that sent messages to all their worlds. They thought it was safe because it was far from any battles. Lieutenant Kim Yuri flew her stealth ship close to the alien station. Her ship was covered with special metal that made it invisible to alien sensors. She had practiced this attack 4 weeks. "I can see the tower," she whispered into her radio. "No guards. They do not expect us. Remember New Seoul," Commander Baek said. "Make every shot count." Kim fired her missiles at the communication tower's main power source. The explosion was so bright, it lit up the dark space like a small sun. Suddenly, alien commanders across 3 star systems could not talk to their ships or soldiers. But humans were not just attacking alien buildings. Something else was happening that the aliens had never planned for. On the planet Kepler 186F, the Rakari people had been slaves to the aliens for 50 years. They were forced to dig metals from deep underground to build alien ships. But when the alien communication tower was destroyed, the guards stopped getting orders from their bosses. Chief Takara of the Rakari saw his chance. The metal demons cannot speak to each other, he told his people. Now we fight for our freedom. The same thing was happening on 12 different worlds. Alien slave species were rebelling because the Zephyrian hegemony was falling apart. Every time humans destroyed an alien command center, more enslaved peoples joined the fight. Dr. Lim Hae-won was now working as a translator between humans and the new alien allies. In her office on the ship Liberation, she spoke with representatives from 17 different species. "We want to help you fight the Zephyrians," said Ambassador Zelek of the Vorthan people. His species looked like giant blue cats, and they had been fighting the aliens for 20 years. "We can provide ships and warriors," said Captain Morix of the Alterian fleet. Her people were tall and thin like trees, but they were excellent pilots. Major SEO Junho led a team of human spies to the alien homeworld called Zephyria. They had to learn about the planet's defenses before the final attack. Using captured alien technology, his team made their ship look like a Zephorian supply vessel. They flew right past the alien patrol ships without being stopped. "Look at this," CO said to his teammate, Sergeant Park Hyoj. Through their ship's window, they could see the alien homeworld. It was covered with huge cities and military bases. But SEO noticed something important. "All their defenses point outward, toward space," he said. "They are designed to scare enemies, not to actually fight them." "What do you mean?" asked Park. "They have big guns and strong shields," SEO explained. "But everything is built to look impressive. They never thought someone would actually attack their homeworld." Back at human headquarters, Supreme General Koroth of the Zephyrians was trying to make a deal. He sent a message to Admiral Im through the Galactic Communication Network. "Humans of Earth," the alien leader said in the message, "we offer you 5 star systems as payment for the damage we caused. We will also give you all the metal and resources you need. Please, stop this war." Admiral Im called a meeting with all the human commanders to discuss the alien offer. "They are scared," said General Han. "They want to negotiate because they know they are losing." "But can we trust them?" asked Dr. Nam. "What if they are just buying time to build more ships?" Captain Chen stood up. He still remembered watching New Seoul burn. "They had their chance to make peace before they killed our people," he said. "They chose war. Now they must face the consequences." Admiral Im nodded. "Send our reply to General Koroth." The message was short and clear. "The time for deals is over. Surrender completely or face total military defeat." When no surrender came, the final preparations began. The combined human and alien rebel fleet was the largest fighting force the galaxy had ever seen. 300 human ships, 200 rebel vessels from freed worlds, and support craft carrying supplies and medical equipment. Dr. Yoon Ji-hai, the survivor from New Seoul, was chosen to speak to all the ship crews before the final battle. 1 year ago, they destroyed our colony to make us afraid, she said. They thought we would surrender. Instead, we learned to fight. We learned to work together. And we learned that freedom is worth any price. On Zephyria, General Koroth was getting reports of the massive fleet heading toward his homeworld. For the first time in his life, he was truly scared. "How many ships are coming?" he asked his officers. "Over 500, sir, and they have weapons we have never seen before." Koroth looked at his own defense fleet. 100 ships, mostly old and not well maintained. His best vessels had been destroyed in earlier battles with the humans. The final battle was about to begin, and everyone knew the aliens could not win. The final battle for the alien homeworld began when the sun rose over Zephyria. Commander Yoon Sumin led the space attack while Colonel Hong Min-young commanded the soldiers who would land on the planet. "All ships, begin the assault," Yoon said into her radio. The human fleet moved toward Zephyria like a storm of metal and fire. The alien defense ships tried to fight back, but they were old and weak compared to the new human weapons. Admiral Dakvar, commanding the Zephyrian home fleet, watched in horror as his ships were destroyed one by one. The humans had learned too much about alien technology. Every shot from the human ships hit exactly where it would hurt the most. "Sir, we have lost half our fleet," his officer reported. "The humans are targeting our weapon systems first, then our engines. Why do they not just destroy us completely?" Dekvar asked. He did not understand that humans fought differently than aliens. The humans wanted to win the war, but they did not want to kill everyone. They wanted justice, not revenge. On the planet below, General Koroth was in his command, bunkered deep underground. He had ruled the Zephyrian Empire for 30 years, conquering dozens of worlds. Now human soldiers were landing on his homeworld. "Send the surrender signal," he finally told his communications officer. "The war is over." Colonel Hong accepted the aliens' surrender, but she made it clear that this was not the end. "You will face trial for your crimes," she told General Koroth when he was brought to her. "Every species you enslaved, every world you destroyed, you must answer for all of it." 3 months later, the war crimes trial began on a space station built just for this purpose. Judge Advocate General Choi Yun-ji was in charge of making sure the trial was fair but thorough. General Koroth sat in the defendant's chair, looking small and old. Around him sat representatives from 43 different worlds that had suffered under Zephyrian rule. "General Koroth," Judge Choi said, "you are charged with genocide, unprovoked attacks on civilian populations, and the systematic oppression of entire civilizations." The evidence was overwhelming. Videos of destroyed cities, testimony from survivors, records found in Zephyrian computers. It took 2 weeks just to list all the crimes. But the most powerful moment came when Dr. Yoon Ji-hai took the stand to speak about New Soul. "He did not just kill 2 million people," she said, looking directly at Koroth. "He killed my husband, my friends, my neighbors. He killed children who were playing in the park. He killed grandparents who were growing flowers in their gardens." General Koroth was found guilty on all charges, but instead of being executed, he was sentenced to spend the rest of his life helping to rebuild the worlds his empire had destroyed. Admiral Park Kung-soo was put in charge of dividing up the former Zephyrian Empire. It was a huge job because the aliens had controlled so many different worlds and peoples. "Each species will get their homeworld back," he announced to the Galactic Council. "Worlds that were taken by force will be returned to their original owners." Dr. Ru Sang-wook led the medical teams that brought food, medicine, and supplies to worlds that had been damaged by the war. Some planets had been strip-mined for resources, others had been used as prison camps. "It will take years to heal all the damage," he reported to Earth. "But we have made a good start." The Zephyrians themselves faced a choice. They could continue to think like conquerors and face more punishment, or they could learn to live peacefully with other species. President Lee Hyo-jung spoke to the Earth Assembly about what should happen to the defeated aliens. "We could destroy them completely," she said. "That would be easy, and many people would call it justice. But if we do that, we become no better than they were." Instead, the Zephyrians were placed under supervision. Human and alien teachers worked together to help them build a new society based on cooperation instead of conquest. 5 years after the war ended, Ambassador Kim Soo-jin stood before the new Galactic Council. She represented the Terran Defense Coalition, which now included 37 different worlds and species. "We learned something important during this war," she said to the assembled delegates. "Peace is not something that just happens. It must be protected and defended." The Terran Defense Coalition promises to help any civilization that faces threats from aggressive empires. "We will share our technology, our knowledge, and our strength with those who need protection." In the audience, former General Vec listened to her words. He was now working on a humanitarian mission to help rebuild worlds damaged by his former empire. The humans had taught him that there were better ways to live than through conquest and fear. On the ruins of New Sol, a great memorial was built. The names of all 2.3 million victims were carved into black stone that would last forever. But below the names was a message that looked toward the future. They thought our desire for peace made us weak. They learned that nothing is more dangerous than humans who fight for what is right. The threat had been ended. The galaxy was at peace. And humanity had proven that the greatest strength comes not from weapons or ships, but from the determination to protect those who cannot protect themselves. The war was over, but the peace would last for generations to come.